Hey everybody, welcome back to your favorite It's a Good Week, It's Fun Friday. Now, it is a very special episode because it's our special episode for one of my favorite holidays, and all of you Fat Bear enthusiasts will also appreciate it. It's Fat Bear Week. So excited. Now, you might be wondering, where's Miss Bailey? That's a good question. We're not sure. See, we sent her to Katmai National Park in Alaska to maybe shoot on location and show us what it really looks like, and haven't gotten any signal from her. So I'm going to give you the rundown of what happened for Fat Bear Week, and then I'm going to head out of here and see if I can't, go adventure to find Miss Bailey from Alaska. But if you don't know, here's the thing with Fat Bear Week. Fat Bear Week is a time at the end of September, early October, where we get to choose the fattest bears of the year. Now, some of the largest brown bears on Earth make their home in Katmai National Park in Alaska. Brown bears get to make their home there, and they get to get really, really fat to survive hibernation during the winter. And so they gotta survive. And so they gotta put on a lot of pounds. And so Fat Bear Week is this annual tournament celebrating their success as they have prepared for winter hibernation. Now, during hibernation, they don't necessarily just sleep the whole time. They are awake sometimes, but they don't eat or drink, and they can lose about a third of their body weight. Their winter survival absolutely depends on being able to pack on the pounds of fat in the reserve before entering their den for the winter. So to get fat, bears just gorge on the richest, most easily attainable foods that they can find. And in Katmai National Park, that's a lot of salmon. Dozens of bears, they gather at the Brooks River, particularly around this one waterfall, to feast on salmon from late June until about mid-October, which is right now. So there's probably no other river on Earth that offers the bears a chance to feed on salmon for so long. There's a lot of salmon that come through there. Fat bears, they are the richness of Katmai National Park and Bristol Bay, Alaska, which are wild regions that are home to more brown bears than people in the largest, healthiest runs of the sockeye salmon left on the planet. It's a pretty special place. So in Fat Bear Week, it's a single elimination tournament. For each matchup, you vote for the bear you believe exemplifies fatness. Now, it could be how physically large they are, but it could also be that you're paying attention to how much they've packed on from June until mid-October. You can be looking for just who you think is the cutest bear. It's up to you to decide who you think is the fattiest bear and who deserves the vote. So the bear with the most votes advances to the next round. Only one, though, will be crowned the Fat Bear Champion of the year. Important things to know about these fat bears. Number one, a fat bear is a healthy bear. Sometimes we hear in the world that fat is not healthy. For bears, it totally is. Number two, fat bears can eat 100,000 calories per day. Number three, they typically eat about 90 pounds of salmon every day to bulk up. That's a lot. Number four, usually they eat the skin of the salmon before eating the rest of the salmon, because in case they drop it, they want to get all the fat, because that's what's going to save them over the winter. And then they eat the rest of it for the protein. And number five, most of the fat bears in Katmai National Park, they weigh at least 1,000 pounds, which is bigger than even other brown bears other places. The biggest bear weighing in at least 1,400 pounds. That's a lot. Now, there are different fishing styles. They have to eat a lot of salmon to bulk up, and so they all have different unique styles of fishing. So a lot of bears play the waiting game. That's number one. Many bears stand or sit at Brooks Falls in the cold water, and they wait for the fish to come to them. It can happen in the jacuzzi where you can't really see, but they feel for the fish and then they pin it against their body and eat it. Or it could be at the top of the falls where they're waiting for the fish to fly up and they catch it with their mouth. Another way that they fish is they steal. What? Yeah, they can steal from other bears. It's risky, but they do it. Or sometimes they scavenge from other bears. Like another bear will leave some behind and they'll just take what's left. The third is the dash and grab. Now this happens to happen in shallow waters, and it kind of is a surprise attack on the salmon. And so they get into the shallow water and they quickly chase and capture the salmon, surprising them. And of course, a lot of bears will dive under the water or do a lot of snorkeling to see the fish underneath the water and get a better grab at them. Now, usually these bears are pretty focused on eating. I get it. And they don't really make friends. Well, they're not like us in that way. They don't make friends well because they're just so focused on food. And other bears can be a threat to that food, right? Like some of them were stealing, right? But this year, this is so different. It's groundbreaking, they say. 2 fat bears have become fat bear besties. It's so cute. Experts say that this is groundbreaking. 2 mothers, each with a single cub. They're also sisters, and they've been playing and resting and fishing for salmon together. The mama bear BFFs are known to us humans as bears 909 and 910. There's a guy, his name is Mike Fitz. He was a former Katmai National Park ranger, but now he works for Explore.org, who puts on Fat Bear Week as a resident naturalist, and he said, I have never seen 2 families associate with each other like these 2 have. That's just adorable. Now, if you've watched Fat Bear Week before, and you know me, you know that I love those mama bears, and I am always voting for the girl bears, because, you know, girl power. So my pick this year was Bear 901. I wish she had a name. She's so cute. They should name all the bears. We've talked about this, but so silly. So she was first identified as a 2.5-year-old young adult teenage bear in 2018. She's got blonde rimmed triangle ears. You know, I love those blondies. Her face is darker with a lighter muzzle. And even as a younger bear, 901 has always been pretty independent and mature. It's true. She's been seen charging at other bears and like ones that were trying to play with her, and she's actively defended her fishing spots. She's really focused on her fishing spots. Even as a teenager, she was like that. Now, as an adult, she doesn't really want to make any friends still. And she shows a lot of that independence and attitude, as you can see by her successful fishing season. She is focused and determined on getting the most fish. Now, she is incredibly curious and she likes to explore, but she's also a little mischievous. This year, we saw her showing these qualities by often visiting the Brooks camp where all the humans stay to study, and she was investigating the human structures. Bears are very curious creatures, if you didn't know, and while we have the privilege of watching bears in the wild, it is important for us to remember that we are just visitors in their home. Now, before we get to the showdowns, what happened in voting? There was, for the first time, a Fat Bear Week scandal. Now, one of the top 2 contenders was Bear 747, who has won previously. We've seen that, and he was the target of an election fraud. I know. Intense, like camping. In the middle of this voting madness, 747 went up against Holly, another previous Fat Bear Week champion, and it seemed like Holly was gonna win until Katmai National Park tweeted this: Fat Bear Week scandal. Like bears stuff their face with fish, our ballot box too has been stuffed. It appears someone has decided to spam the Fat Bear Week poll. They said luckily it was easy for them to see which votes were fraudulent, and so they discarded those votes. And in the end, 747 was victorious over Holly. Wow, what a wild week. So let's see the full rundown of showdowns and see who reigned as Fat Bear Week Champion 2022. On Wednesday, it was two showdowns. Bear 335 and Bear 164. And then it was Bear 747 and 856. Bear 164 crushes Bear 335 with more than 87,000 votes. And that plane of a Bear 747 demolishes Bear 856 with almost 74,000 votes. Then there was Thursday, another two face-offs. It was Bear 854 versus 151. And 901, my girl, versus 909's baby yearling. 151 beats 854, and my girl, 901 advances over that baby bear to the next round. On Friday, 164 versus Holly, and Chunk versus 747. 747 reigns, and so does Holly. Chunk and 164, you out of here. Saturday, Grazer, one of my favorite blonde-eared girls, versus 151, and Otis, a previous big fatty bear that we've seen before, versus my girl 901. And the girls take it. Grazer and 901 both advance to the semifinals. Sunday, the day of scandals. Bear 747 versus Holly. 747 survives the scandal. Justice prevails and knocks Holly out of the running. 747 advances to the finals. Then it was Monday. Two of my favorite girls show off. Grazer versus 901, and my girl, we're going to the finals. 901. And of course, our favorite day of the week, Fat Bear Tuesday. It's the finals. 747 versus my girl 901. Come. It was a tough competition, let me tell you. 901 received 56,876 votes. But pulling ahead, Bear 747 takes it with 68,105 votes, meaning here we are again, the king of Fat Bear Week. 747, also called Bear Force One, Boatalicious Boeing body jumbo jet, has come in for a landing, and he is the fattest fat bear of Fat Bear Week 2022.
You want a chance at being first for Fat Bear Week? Go Fat Bear Week, Fat Bear Week, Fat Bear Week, Fat Bear Week. You can keep your sharks, I'm holding out for Fat Bear Week. Go Fat Bear Week, Fat Bear Week, Fat Bear Week, Fat Bear Week. You can keep your sharks, I'm holding out for Fat Bear Week.
Congratulations, Bear 747, you fatty bear. Well, thank you again for joining me on this favorite holiday week, except for my birthday, of course. Before we go, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all of our future content. Now, I'm gonna head out and see if I can find Miss Bailey. Hopefully she's okay in Katmai National Park, and I will return with her. I make you that promise. But for now, thanks for joining us on another episode of Fun Friday. See you soon.